Agasni betrays Sivaraman's family. Episode-7 Exile's return. Betrayal echoes in Festival of Renewal shadows. Varapati was abuzz with excitement as the Festival of Renewal approached. This annual event was a time to celebrate new beginnings, honor the past, and strengthen the bonds within the community. This year's festival held special significance, as it marked the end of a tumultuous period and the beginning of a new era of unity and balance. Agasni, Sivaraman, and Priya were at the heart of the preparations. The village was decorated with vibrant banners and lanterns, and a large stage was set up in the village square for performances and speeches. The heart of the forest, now a revered symbol of the village, was placed at the center of the square, its soft glow illuminating the festivities. As the sun set, the villagers gathered in the square, their faces lit with anticipation. Priya took the stage first, her warm smile radiating confidence and hope. Welcome, everyone, to the Festival of Renewal. This year, we celebrate not only our traditions but also our journey through challenges and our triumph over darkness. The crowd erupted in applause, the energy palpable. Priya continued, "We have faced many trials, but through our unity and the strength of our community, we have emerged stronger. Tonight, we honor our past, embrace our present, and look forward to a bright future." Sivaraman followed, his voice resonating with pride. "We are a village built on the principles of balance and harmony. Each of us plays a vital role in maintaining that balance. As we celebrate tonight, let us remember the importance of our unity and the power we hold when we stand together." Finally, Agasni stepped forward, her eyes scanning the crowd with a mixture of gratitude and determination. "Our journey has been one of redemption and growth. We have learned that forgiveness and second chances are essential to our community's strength. Let us continue to support each other and strive for a future where light and balance prevail." The villagers cheered, their spirits lifted by the speeches. The night continued with music, dance, and storytelling, each performance a tribute to the village's resilience and unity. Midway through the festival, Kartik took the stage. The villagers fell silent, curious and eager to hear from him. Kartik looked out at the crowd, his expression a mix of humility and resolve. "I stand before you as a testament to the power of forgiveness and the possibility of redemption. I was lost in darkness, but this village showed me the way back to the light. For that, I am eternally grateful." He paused, taking a deep breath. "I have made many mistakes, but I am committed to using my experiences to help protect and strengthen Varapati. Together, we can ensure that our village remains a beacon of hope and unity." The applause that followed was thunderous, a sign of the village's acceptance and support. Kartik smiled, a genuine expression of gratitude and determination. As the night wore on, Agasni found herself reflecting on her journey and the changes she had witnessed. She wandered to the edge of the square, where the heart of the forest stood, its glow gentle and reassuring. Priya joined her, sensing her friend's contemplative mood. "You've done so much for this village, Agasni," Priya said softly. "Your journey has inspired many, including me." Agasni smiled, her eyes on the glowing artifact. "It hasn't been easy, but every step has been worth it. We've all grown so much, and it's amazing to see how far we've come." Priya nodded. The Festival of Renewal is not just about celebrating, it's about acknowledging our growth and looking forward to the future. And our future looks brighter than ever. As the festival drew to a close, the villagers gathered around the heart of the forest. Priya led a final ceremony, inviting everyone to place their hands on the artifact and make a vow for the coming year. One by one, they stepped forward, their faces lit with hope and determination. Agasni, Sivaraman, and Priya were the last to place their hands on the heart. Together, they made a silent vow to continue protecting and guiding Varapati, ensuring that the village remained a place of balance, unity, and hope. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the festival of renewal came to an end. The villagers dispersed, their hearts full and their spirits high. Varapati had faced many challenges, but it had emerged stronger, its unity and resilience a beacon for all. Agasni looked around at the village she had come to love, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. The journey was far from over, but with the support of her friends and the strength of the community, she knew they could face whatever the future held. Varapati continued to thrive, its light shining brightly, a testament to the power of unity, redemption, and the enduring spirit of its people. The dawn of a new day brought a sense of calm to Varapati. The festival of renewal had left the villagers feeling rejuvenated, their spirits high with a renewed sense of unity. However, the shadows of the past have a way of lingering, and for Agasni, the peace was fleeting. One afternoon, while Agasni was helping Priya with her herb garden, a stranger arrived in the village. He was an old man, his face lined with age and wisdom, his eyes sharp and observant. He introduced himself as Aaron, a wanderer and a keeper of ancient knowledge. "I've traveled far and wide," Aaron said, his voice carrying the weight of years. "And I've heard whispers of this village's journey. I am here to share a warning and a story that may be of great importance to you." Curiosity piqued, Agasni invited Aaron to the village square, where the villagers gathered to listen. Aaron began his tale, speaking of a time long before their own, when Varapati was but a fledgling settlement. Many generations ago, this land was home to a powerful sorceress named Anaya, Aaron began. She possessed great magic, but her heart was filled with darkness. She sought to control the forces of nature and bend them to her will. To do so, she created a dark artifact, the Shadow Stone, which allowed her to manipulate the very essence of life. The villagers listened intently, the gravity of the story settling over them like a shroud. Aaron continued. Anaya's reign of terror was brought to an end by a group of brave warriors who sealed the Shadow Stone deep within the forest, protected by powerful enchantments. However, the stone's influence remained, waiting for a chance to reawaken. A murmur of concern rippled through the crowd. Priya stepped forward, her face thoughtful. "Why are you telling us this now, Aaron? Has something happened?" Aaron nodded gravely. "I fear that the recent disturbances in Varapati may have weakened the enchantments guarding the Shadow Stone. If it falls into the wrong hands, the consequences could be dire." Agasni felt a chill run down her spine. The memory of Kartik's dark magic and his attempt to disrupt their unity was still fresh. She knew that if the Shadow Stone was real, they needed to act quickly to prevent it from being used for evil. Sivaraman, standing beside Agasni, addressed the villagers. "We cannot ignore this threat. We must find the Shadow Stone and ensure it remains sealed. Our unity and strength will guide us." The villagers agreed, the determination unwavering. Agasni, Sivaraman, Priya, and Kartik formed a small group to venture into the forest and locate the Shadow Stone. Kartik, with his knowledge of dark magic, would be instrumental in navigating the dangers they might face. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew tense. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The path was difficult, but their resolve kept them moving forward. After hours of searching, they arrived at an ancient clearing. In the center stood a stone altar, covered in vines and moss. On the altar lay the Shadow Stone, its dark surface pulsing with an eerie light. Priya stepped forward, her hands raised in a protective gesture. "We must reinforce the enchantments and ensure the stone cannot be used for evil." Kartik joined her, the combined magic forming a barrier around the Shadow Stone. Agasni and Sivaraman stood guard, their senses alert for any signs of danger. As they worked, a sudden gust of wind swept through the clearing, and the shadowy figure of a woman materialized before them. Her eyes glowed with a malevolent light, and her voice was filled with anger and sorrow. "I am Anaya," she said. "You think you can contain my power? My legacy will not be forgotten." Agasni stepped forward, her voice steady. "We are not here to destroy your legacy, Anaya. We are here to protect our village from the darkness you sought to unleash." Anaya's form flickered, her expression softening for a moment. "You speak of balance and unity, but can you truly understand the depths of my pain?" Priya, still focusing on the enchantments, responded, "We understand the power of pain and the allure of darkness. But we also know that redemption and balance are possible." Anaya's figure wavered, her anger dissipating. "Perhaps you are right. Perhaps there is a chance for balance. But know this, the power of the Shadow Stone is great, and it must be respected." With those words, Anaya's spirit faded, leaving the clearing silent once more. The barrier around the Shadow Stone solidified, the enchantments reinforced and strengthened. As they made their way back to Varapati, Agasni couldn't help but think about Anaya's words. The shadows of the past were powerful, but so was the light of unity and balance. Back in the village, the group shared their experience with the villagers. The tale of Anaya and the Shadow Stone became a part of Varapati's history, a reminder of the importance of vigilance and the enduring power of redemption. Varapati continued to thrive, its people ever watchful, their hearts united in the pursuit of balance and harmony. And as the shadows of the past receded, the village looked forward to a future filled with hope and light. With the Shadow Stone securely sealed and the village returning to its usual rhythm, Varapati seemed to be basking in a period of peace. However, Agasni could not shake the feeling of unease that had settled in her heart. Anaya's words echoed in her mind, a constant reminder of the lurking darkness that still threatened their village. One morning, as the villagers gathered for the daily routines, an unexpected visitor arrived. It was a young woman named Devi, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. She was from a neighboring village and had fled to Varapati seeking help. "Sivaraman, Priya, Agasni, please, you must help us," Devi pleaded, her voice trembling. "Our village is under attack by a group of bandits. They came out of nowhere, claiming to be searching for a powerful artifact. We have nothing like that, but they won't believe us. They're destroying everything." The villagers exchanged worried glances. The threat to their neighbors was a reminder that danger could strike anywhere, at any time. Agasni felt a pang of determination. "We can't let this happen. We have to help." Sivaraman nodded in agreement. "Devi, we'll gather a group and come with you. We won't let these bandits harm your village." A team of skilled villagers, including Agasni, Sivaraman, Priya, and Kartik, quickly assembled. As they made their way to Devi's village, Agasni couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this attack than met the eye. When they arrived, they found the village in chaos. Homes were ransacked, and villagers huddled together in fear. The bandits, led by a ruthless man named Ranjan, were demanding information about the artifact. Agasni stepped forward, her voice firm. "Ranjan, you have no right to terrorize these people. Leave now, or face the consequences." Ranjan laughed, a cruel smile playing on his lips. "You think you can stop us? We know the artifact is here, and we will find it." As Agasni and the others prepared to defend the village, a strange feeling washed over her. She looked at Ranjan more closely and saw a familiar glint in his eyes, a glint of recognition. "Why are you really here, Ranjan?" Agasni demanded. "What do you know about this artifact?" Ranjan's smile faded, replaced by a look of suspicion. "You're Agasni, aren't you? The one who betrayed her own family for power. I know all about you." The words hit Agasni like a blow. She had worked so hard to redeem herself, but her past had a way of catching up with her. She took a deep breath, refusing to let Ranjan's words shake her resolve. Yes. I made mistakes. But I've changed. And I won't let you harm these people. Ranjan's eyes narrowed. We're not so different, you and I. Both seeking power, both willing to do whatever it takes. Agasni shook her head. That's where you're wrong. I seek balance and unity, not power. And I will protect these people, no matter what. A fierce battle ensued, with Agasni and her companions fighting bravely against the bandits. Despite their numbers, the bandits were no match for the determination and skill of Varapati's defenders. During the fight, Kartik and Priya used the combined magic to create barriers, protecting the villagers and disorienting the attackers. Sivaraman and Agasni fought side by side, the coordinated efforts driving the bandits back. As the dust settled, Ranjan found himself cornered. Agasni stepped forward, her eyes blazing with determination. It's over, Ranjan. Leave now, and never return. Ranjan, seeing that he was defeated, spat on the ground and fled with his remaining followers. The villagers of the attacked village cheered, their relief palpable. Devi approached Agasni, her eyes filled with gratitude. Thank you. We couldn't have done this without you. Agasni smiled, her heart warming at the gratitude of the villagers. We're all part of a larger community. We have to look out for each other. As they helped the villagers rebuild, Agasni couldn't shake the feeling that this was not the last they would see of Ranjan. His knowledge of her past and his connection to the search for the artifacts suggested deeper, darker forces at play. Back in Varapati, Agasni shared her concerns with Sivaraman and Priya. Ranjan knew too much about me. There's something more going on here, something connected to my past. Sivaraman placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Whatever it is, we'll face it together. You're not alone, Agasni. We're a team. Priya nodded. We've overcome so much already. Whatever comes next, we'll be ready. As the sun set over Varapati, Agasni felt a renewed sense of purpose. The shadows of her past might still linger, but with her friends and the unity of the village, she knew they could face any challenge. Varapati would remain a beacon of hope and strength, standing firm against the echoes of betrayal and the darkness that sought to disrupt their harmony. The weeks following the confrontation with Ranjan were filled with an uneasy calm. While Varapati and its neighboring villages began to recover and rebuild, Agasni couldn't shake the feeling that something more sinister was lurking in the shadows. One evening, as Agasni was walking through the village, she noticed a cloaked figure at the edge of the forest. Instinctively, she followed the figure, her senses alert. As she approached, the figure turned, revealing a face she hadn't seen in years. Her older brother, Arjun. Arjun! Agasni exclaimed, a mix of shock and relief flooding her. What are you doing here? Arjun removed his hood, his expression unreadable. I've been searching for you, Agasni. There are things you need to know about our family, things that could endanger us all. Agasni's heart raced. She had not seen Arjun since she left her family behind in pursuit of power. What do you mean? What's happened? Arjun sighed, his eyes reflecting a deep weariness. Our family's history is more complicated than you realize. Our ancestors were the keepers of powerful artifacts, including the Shadow Stone. That's why you were drawn to it. It's in our blood. The revelation stunned Agasni. She had always felt a strange connection to dark magic, but she never understood why. Why didn't anyone tell me? Our parents wanted to protect us from that legacy, Arjun explained. But when you left, it became clear that we couldn't hide from it forever. I've been tracking down our family's artifacts, trying to keep them out of the wrong hands. Agasni felt a surge of determination. Ranjan mentioned the artifact. He knew about my past. Is he connected to our family's enemies? Arjun nodded. Yes. Ranjan is part of a group that has been hunting our family's artifacts for generations. They believe that by gathering them all, they can unlock unlimited power. We can't let that happen. Agasni knew what she had to do. We need to gather the others. We have to protect the artifacts and stop Ranjan. Together, Agasni and Arjun returned to the village and convened a meeting with Sivaraman, Priya, and Kartik. Agasni explained everything she had learned, and the group quickly devised a plan. We need to secure the artifacts before Ranjan can get to them, Sivaraman said. But we'll need help. Priya nodded. We can enlist the neighboring villages. If we all work together, we can protect our heritage and our future. Agasni felt a sense of purpose as she and her friends rallied the villages. They reached out to neighboring communities, explaining the danger and the need for unity. The response was overwhelming. People from all around joined forces, determined to protect their homes and their history. As the days passed, the coalition of villages grew stronger. They located several of the artifacts and secured them in hidden locations, guarded by powerful enchantments. Agasni and Arjun worked tirelessly, using their knowledge of their family's magic to fortify the defenses. One evening, as Agasni was preparing for another search, she had a moment of doubt. What if we're too late? What if Ranjan already has some of the artifacts? Arjun placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We can't think like that. We have to stay focused and do everything we can to stop him. We've come this far, and we won't give up now. Agasni nodded, her resolve strengthening. You're right. We can't let fear hold us back. As they ventured deeper into the forest, searching for the remaining artifacts, they encountered numerous challenges. The forest seemed to resist their efforts, as if the very land was aware of the impending conflict. One night, as they camped under the stars, Arjun shared more about their family's legacy. Our ancestors were not just keepers of artifacts, they were guardians of balance. They believed that these artifacts could either protect or destroy, depending on who wielded them. Agasni listened intently, her respect for their ancestors growing. We have to honor their legacy by ensuring these artifacts are used for good. The following day, their search led them to a hidden cave. Inside, they found an ancient scroll detailing the locations of the remaining artifacts and the rituals needed to protect them. It also contained warnings about the dangers of their misuse. As they studied the scroll, Agasni felt a renewed sense of purpose. We have everything we need to protect these artifacts. We can do this. With the knowledge from the scroll and the support of their allies, Agasni and Arjun continued their mission. They located the last of the artifacts and fortified the defenses. The coalition of villages stood ready to defend their homes against any threat. One evening, as they gathered around a fire, Agasni looked at her friends and family, her heart filled with gratitude. We've come a long way. We've faced our past and are ready to protect our future. Sivaraman raised his cup in a toast. To unity and balance. To the strength of our communities and the power of our legacy. The others raised their cups, their faces reflecting determination and hope. Agasni knew the battle was far from over, but with the support of her friends and the strength of their unity, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Varapati and its neighboring villages would remain vigilant, their hearts united in the pursuit of balance and harmony. And as the shadows of the past receded, they looked forward to a future filled with hope, light, and the enduring spirit of their people. Episode 40, The Final Reckoning. The coalition of villages stood united, their defenses fortified, and their resolve unbreakable. Agasni, Sivaraman, Priya, Kartik, and Arjun knew that the final confrontation with Ranjan and his followers was imminent. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of their homes and the legacy of their ancestors. As dawn broke, a thick fog enveloped the village of Varapati, adding an eerie stillness to the air. Agasni stood at the edge of the village square, her eyes scanning the horizon. She could feel the tension in the air, the anticipation of the impending clash. Arjun approached her, his expression grim but determined. They're coming, Agasni. We need to be ready. Agasni nodded, her resolve steely. We've prepared for this. We won't let them take what's ours. As the fog began to lift, the sound of approaching footsteps echoed through the trees. Ranjan and his band of followers emerged, their eyes filled with a mix of greed and determination. Ranjan's gaze locked onto Agasni, a sneer playing on his lips. Agasni, Ranjan called out, his voice carrying a mocking tone. You've gone to great lengths to protect these artifacts. But it's futile. They belong to us. Agasni stepped forward, her voice strong and unwavering. You're wrong, Ranjan. These artifacts belong to no one. They are meant to protect, not to be used for power. And we will not let you desecrate their purpose. Ranjan laughed, his eyes flashing with malice. We'll see about that. With a signal from Ranjan, the battle began. The villagers, armed with weapons and fortified by magic, clashed with Ranjan's followers. The air crackled with energy as spells flew and swords clanged. Agasni and Sivaraman fought side by side, their movements fluid and synchronized. Priya and Kartik worked together to create barriers and heal the wounded, the combined magic a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Arjun confronted Ranjan directly, the duel a fierce and desperate struggle. Ranjan's dark magic clashed with Arjun's protective spells, the ground beneath them trembling with the force of their conflict. Amidst the battle, Agasni felt a surge of power within her. The legacy of her ancestors coursed through her veins, guiding her movements and strengthening her resolve. She knew that this was the moment she had been preparing for her entire life. With a final, powerful spell, Agasni unleashed a wave of energy that swept through the battlefield, knocking Ranjan's followers off their feet. The villagers rallied, their spirits lifted by Agasni's display of strength. Arjun, taking advantage of the moment, overpowered Ranjan and disarmed him. As Ranjan lay on the ground, defeated and furious, Agasni approached him, her eyes blazing with determination. It's over, Ranjan, she said, her voice steady. You've lost. Ranjan glared at her, his expression a mix of rage and desperation. This isn't the end, Agasni. There will always be those who seek power. You can't protect these artifacts forever. Agasni shook her head. Perhaps not. But as long as there are people who believe in balance and unity, we will always stand against those who seek to exploit them. With Ranjan and his followers subdued, the villagers worked together to secure the artifacts and ensure their protection. The battle had been won, but Agasni knew that the fight for balance and harmony was an ongoing one. As the sun set over Varapati, the village gathered to celebrate their victory. There was a sense of relief and joy in the air, a collective recognition of their strength and unity. Agasni stood with Sivaraman, Priya, Kartik, and Arjun, their faces reflecting a mix of exhaustion and triumph. We did it, Agasni said, her voice filled with gratitude. We protected our home and our legacy. Sivaraman nodded, a smile playing on his lips. And we'll continue to protect it, together. Priya raised her cup in a toast. To Varapati and all the villagers. To our ancestors and the future we'll build together. The villagers raised their cups, their voices echoing in a chorus of hope and unity. Agasni felt a deep sense of belonging and purpose. She had found her place, not as a seeker of power, but as a guardian of balance and harmony. As the celebrations continued, Agasni looked out over the village, her heart filled with hope for the future. The shadows of the past had been faced, and while challenges would always remain, she knew they would face them together. The Agasni's betrayal and redemption had come to an end, but a new chapter was beginning. The legacy of Varapati and its people would endure, a testament to the power of unity, balance, and the enduring spirit of those who believed in a better future. Season 2. The Awakening. With Varapati's immediate threats behind them, new challenges and mysteries await as Agasni and her friends uncover deeper secrets about their legacy and the world beyond their village. The journey of balance and harmony continues as they face new adversaries and forge new alliances, determined to protect their home and the principles they hold dear.